Glenn Parker High Vibration Foundation. I wanted to take an opportunity and try to set a unconditional loving tone in the beginning of these videos. I'm losing my light, so this is starting to dull out a little bit, but I'm going to grind this out anyway. I wanted to talk about organic food, personal opinions, and there's this one conversation that really spurred this video that I had to remember today. And I was actually, no better. I was in a grocery store in upstate New York, and I was doing some shopping, and I was overhearing a couple people having a conversation. They're at the bin where the bananas are, and they're like, why would you ever buy organic food, organic bananas, and they're more expensive, and it doesn't make any difference, and blah, 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 blah. So I felt the need to protect organic food's honor, or at least to see if I could bring them to a better understanding and maybe educate them what the difference was. So I proceeded to go over, and I'm like, may I ask you a question? What do you want? Type of thing. And I'm like, quick question, do you buy bottled water or do you drink tap water? And they're looking at me like, okay, we buy bottled water. Why are you crazy? Why would we drink tap water? And I couldn't help but overhear your conversation, and I just wanted to make this observation how I understand it. Like, you're saying, bananas and organic food, for instance, organic bananas, bottled water, regular bananas, tap water, and here is why. Organic bananas, when they go through the organic process, they can't use this, they can't use that, and if they test batch a set of bananas or any organic food, and it is past a certain tolerance for a pesticide or whatever it happens to be, they are thrown in with the regular bananas. Rejected. And that is the primary difference, is that you're buying bottled water. You're paying a little extra, you're paying a little bit of a premium to have clean food. I mean, would you go and lick the leaves off of your trees after you sprayed them after, a couple days later, or knowingly eat something that you had sprayed pesticides on in heavy abundance in your garden and then go ahead and proceed to eat it? If you knew it was contaminated, would you eat it? Because what I'm telling you is contaminated on a higher degree and less contaminated. Obviously, it's going to have something in it because just the way the world is right now, it's not going to be 100% pure unless it's being shipped in. Even if it's shipped in from Fiji or something, there's, it is just the environment the way it is. And, it's New York. They really didn't give me much in the way of feedback, but it really got me to thinking too, and that's how I kind of approach it when I talk to people now. If I ever get any opposition on organic or regular food that it doesn't make any difference, well, you can go online, you can see actual tests on YouTube and all these videos, laboratory tests and whatnot, to show there is basically a staggering difference. Basically, one is bottled water, one is tap water. Do you drink tap water? If you drink tap water and you don't care, don't have to buy organic food. It's pretty much that simple. But if you do go out of your way to buy bottled water, why? What are you protecting yourself from? Why are you doing that? What's the ideal behind that? And try to translate that into organic food. And I'm not trying to sell them on the idea. I just like to do a little of education because most people aren't thinking of it that way. And I like to think of it that way because I think that is correct. That, you got bottled water and you have tap water. Regular food is tap water. Don't know what the hell is in there, and you do know that there's things in there that you don't want. So that's my personal thoughts. I've been eating organic as much as possible for quite a number of years now. I just saw a test, I think it was Switzerland or Sweden, and they took some families who wanted to participate in this test, and they had them start buying organic food. I think they subsidized it for them, or supplied it for them so that they could have a controlled mechanism for this. And then they started doing blood tests and to monitor pesticide levels, and I don't know if it was heavy metals, but I know pesticides. I didn't really get to grind down as much on it as I wanted to. Excuse me, and they're showing even in a 24-hour span a decisive change in pesticide levels, and they were talking in the couple week marker even more and more, and this was for a whole family if I remember right. So yes, it does make a difference, and it is important, I think, for a higher vibration, those things in your body, for aging, it definitely makes an impact. More glutathione has to be expelled, more vitamin C, more MSN, more things have to be done biomechanism in the body to eradicate those things that could be doing cellular repair or working on your brain, or maybe a boo-boo that you have on your elbow or something that needs to be repaired. They're going to have to take, the body tries to do as priority as possible to things in the body. So if you're adding an extra 5, 10%, 12% of toxins in there, that's another percentage. That's a percentage that is not going to doing other functions in the body. Telomeres, which is your aging process, the ends of your DNA unraveling, and then glutathione payload, which could be, making your skin a little bit more elastic and binding with elastin, and all these things that could be happening. So when you're dumping in toxins, obviously the body needs to do something. When it gets to a certain point, it's no longer able to do what it was designed to do. Then you start needing medications as a stopgap measure to shore up the toxicity in your body, and now you're adding more toxicity because those things are wicked toxic and also have side effects and make the body dependent on a certain on a certain way. Because I know when I was on my the heart medications or the beta blockers, particularly, like if you came off of those, you had to do it slow. You couldn't just drop off overnight if you had been taking them for a while, and I've been taking them for like 20 something years. And a few years ago, I was able to titrate off, and it listed all kinds of nasty side effects if you just stop taking it, because your heart orientation changes, the enzymatic activity in your body changes, becomes dependent upon it. And it's a spiral that you definitely don't want to get in, or if you're on, that you want to reverse and do some detoxing and address that with a nutritionist. So again, Glenn Parker High Vibration Foundation, in no way is this medical advice or meant to be a treatment or a cure. I think that definitely organic food as often as possible. Vegan, ideally, because every meal is an antioxidant meal, high antioxidant, which means anti-aging. You're a machine, you're burning at quite nearly 100 degrees, and a glutathione and antioxidants, glutathione is the master antioxidant, but things like fruits and vegetables and these things, which is generally almost every meal or something is very similar, nuts and things like that, when you're a vegetarian or vegan, is a large payload of vitamins and minerals and antioxidants to keep the body younger. That's my personal opinion. I think that really does vet out, because if you have a hamburger meal, for instance, in relation to having a meal that might be, soy-free, blah, 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 but it's a high-protein energy bar or something that is all organic and all plant derivative, that is a high antioxidant, it's a high vitamin, it's a high mineral state. And if that's every single meal, your body is going to be better at doing cellular repair because it has the things to do cellular repair with. For instance, antioxidants help stop the aging process as oxidation. You're inhaling oxygen and you're burning it at almost 100 degrees and you're burning off your food. So these antioxidants are kind of like a lubricant for the body, and they help do cellular repair and enzymatic activity and just all these things. So, it aggregates over time. You can notice people that have been vegetarians for a long time that are in their 40s and in their 50s, especially if they exercise, they do a lot of yoga, or if they do running or any kind of sustained exercise, you can really, really see it in this person. You're like, wow. So, if the topic comes up of age, like, oh yeah, I'm 47. It's like, what? I thought you were 35 or 32. It really does take a large toll off of the aging process, because since I've been juicing and detoxing and whatnot, I have noticed a sizable change in the body, and gray hair start going away and soften up, and adding vitamins and mineral and copper and things that are precipitants of like metalin and whatnot that produce eye color and skin and tanning and these types of things, and hair color. Once they're in there, they get used because they are needed by the body. So once you give the body what it needs, it pretty much starts to do its job. Well, I hope that was helpful. Again, Glenn Parker, High Vibration Foundation, coaching, life, business, and spiritual. Always happy to have a conversation. Also working on the Bashar Space-Time Antenna project. You can also check that out below. And you can support me on Patreon, which is basically like a permanent Kickstarter campaign. And you can, it can even just be $1 a month, it could be $5 a month, it'd be so much a video, whatever it is. I suggest if you want a fixed amount, that's probably best, because I make a lot of videos as of late, so it's easier just to know that you're going to have a fixed amount of spending. Thank you very much, love and light, and have a fantastic day.